Hello friends, it's Danielle from the Painting Turtle, or the Painting Turtle. Anyhow, okay, so the other day I put out a video about Distress Watercolor Pencils by Tim Holtz and Ranger. And I had mixed thoughts about the whole thing. I was like, I have the first 3 sets, and after this, I definitely I'm going to look into the other 3 sets because I have a new respect for them, and I wanted to show you just how far I took it to see how much better they would be. So, first of all, we started off with shaving a few of them, and tried painting like that, and we had great stuff going on. Well, this is what I did. I did a whole chart on Tim Holtz Ranger watercolor distressed pencils, blah blah blah, whatever. So first of all, on this, first of all, I intended to just sharpen every one of them and put them in palettes. It turned out to be a lot more work than it seemed like it was going to be. I think once you get it done, then it's not going to be so bad because it'll be the ones that you use the most. You'll keep refilling. I sharpened every one of them to a very sharp point, for me anyway. So there was a good pile in each one of these little wells. I found that the best way to do it, this is not, just so you know, this is not, that's sepia. But I found the best way to do this is to put a little bit of water in each pan, one at a time. Don't do them all at the same time, because this, when sharpened, seems to just fly everywhere. So then you end up with green in your red and all over the place. So I did a whole row first of just water and thought I would just scratch every one of them in it. And it was just a mess. So I had to get the water out, start over. And I learned my lesson right off the bat. So that's good. Then I went to just doing a little bit at a time, which was fine. But I would recommend you put a couple of drops of water, or maybe just one drop of water in a well. These are so close together. That's what makes it really difficult. I think you should put 1 drop of water in there, take a nice little something or another, Q-tip, whatever, and just rub it around in there and get the whole thing wet, just one of them. If you can, cover up the one you already have. If you can't, it's fine. This, I don't know where I got this. I think it was just at Michael's. But this is a really fine little sharpener. It was just a couple of bucks, and it's really wonderful. It sharpened really great. I even used the bigger side when I couldn't get it to sharpen. Some of these are denser than others. Some of them didn't sharpen as nicely, as easily as others. So I sharpened it right down, right as close to the well as I could get, and then tapped it down with the base, and then ripped some of this off, and you got a really good, once you rip it off, you get a really nice little sharpening. And then drip some water on top of the sharpened shavings, and then mix it with a toothpick of any kind you want. Mix it with a toothpick. Make sure you wash the toothpick off really well, or use a different toothpick for every one of them, because you will have cross-contamination. Again, if you don't care about the cross-contamination, it's fine. As you can see, my white has a little bit of something in it. So, it is what it is. These have been setting for 2 days, and this one are still not dry. And I pretty much did them all exactly the same. The black is not quite dry either. But I did them all exactly the same. And that was a job. I mean, that was a literal job. It took like hours to do that. I would say it might be easier if you had those little pots I do have one of those palettes somewhere with the little pots in it where you can just have little pots and they each one have a lid, and putting it in there might be nice. I don't know. Anyhow, I did that. That took forever, but then once I started to think about it, I thought, well, okay, I'm going to put all the, this one is backwards, but put all these down on here, write them all down, and then just put a little of this on here. But to see the full spectrum of what it can do, I thought the best thing to do would be show you everything. So this one that I showed you, that is not one of them. It's just sepia from Grumbacher. I found those on clearance and I just stuck it in there because who doesn't need sepia? So what I did was I scratched the pencil, each one, and they're now in a completely different order because they're in the order that I have them on my palette. That's the best thing I thought of doing for myself. So they're not going to be in the same order as the packaging anymore. So I just took this and scratched them on each individual one, scratched it on there. Then, there it is. Then I took my Grumbacher 4 round and I just got it wet and I just kind of went in each one of these. Now, some of them, like this one, like salvaged patina, it pretty much just went away. And cracked pistachios, barely there. Antique linen, white, of course. But a lot of them, once you get the spot wet, it just kind of melted away. It wasn't hardly there after scratching it, coloring with the pencil. Then, after coloring with the pencil, putting water on the colored part, then I took and sampled each one of these on here once they were dry enough. And they do dry really fast. Like the beginning, the front parts of them were dry right away. So I just used that part of it so it would be dry. And you get really great color. I mean, it took forever, but it is, I would say it's worth it. And so you get really fine color on all these. I wrote this out with a Sharpie. It wasn't the 3.8. It was a Sharpie. It was the 5, I think it was. Yeah, it was this one. It was the 0.5. And it had plenty of time to dry, and it still smudged in most of them. Not all of them. And then I went ahead and I thought, okay, so I did all this. I had everything put away, and I was like, what else can I do? So I took every single one of these back and just got my paintbrush wet and just went on every crayon, pencil, whatever you want to call them, and did a little swatch underneath just to show you. You can get really good color just from the crayon, the pencil, crayon, whatever you want to call it, itself. I do think that sharpening them made them work better. I'm not positive. I had them all sharpened before I started this project. So I don't have any that are not sharpened. Once I get the other 3 sets, which they are expensive, so it might be a few little whiles before I get them. But when I do, I will right away scratch or color with them, and then sharpen it, and then color with it again, and we can see how it does. But I really feel like after sharpening, a lot of the colors got more vibrant just from coloring. So, but like this one is very light. This one, they're very light colors. Flamingo, speckled egg, and those are all some of my favorites. Those are some of my favorite colors. The linen and the speckled egg and tattered rose. And those are some of my favorite colors. And they're just really, really, really light. So, in saying all this, I still think, and I stand by what I said before, it is worth it to get these. It is worth it to take the long time and shave every one of them into one of these. I'm thinking there has to be a better palette somewhere that is not so close together. There has to be a better way to do it. I thought about putting it in on something else, shaving it into something else, making it into a liquid form, and then pouring it back into each one of these. But then I thought I'm just going to waste a lot of it. So if you have a better idea of how to shave them and put them into these wells, I would love to hear about it. So that's all I got for you today. Other than, I guess we could just paint a little bit real quick. Just a little something, something. I don't even know what. Let's just put it's springtime here, so let's just make a little tulip. Because tulips are fun and relaxing. And I love to make tulips, especially loose tulips. The other thing is, I don't think too much of getting these really wet ahead of time because they do wetten really fast, as you can tell. That's the other thing. And this paper it's just B paper. It is their multimedia paper, I do believe. I'll look at it after I'm done doing this. But just to show you, every color likes, yeah. Look at that. It's just pretty. I mean, the colors are fabulous. I love them. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I thought I had oh, there's my better green. Excuse me. It is allergy season. So all of you people out there, just take care of yourselves. Take care of your neighbors, your friends, your family. Make sure that everybody's got their allergy stuff. If you take allergy things. Okay, so I know that's not great leaves, but oh well. It is what it is, people. I'm just playing around just to show you the color. But yeah, I think it's worth it. I think it's fantastic. I think you can put as much or as little into this as you want. And I really think that once you get these filled, excuse me, and you use them, you'll see the ones you use the most, and you just be able to refill them, especially if you make yourself a nice chart. You'll be able to know who's where and what's going on. Then you'll be able to refill them easily. But yeah, I think it is worth it. So let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Okay, I will see you later. Sending you much love and peace. And I'm saying God bless each and every one of you. I hope you have a great day. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.